Why, hello there. Today we are going to do the favorite people tag. I was tagged by Cliff's Dark Gems. I will link his channel down below. And this tag was created by the channel Book Songs and Other Magic. And just a nice short little tag that we're going to get into and I guess tell you about who my favorite people are in these categories. So let's get into it right now. Who is your favorite author? I have a hard time just settling on one because it morphs and it changes, and I mean, I always come back to having like the same favorites. I'm gonna name four because I couldn't just settle on one. So if I go overall like lifetime favorites that I've had, it would definitely be, I might name five. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with five. So it'd be Clive Barker, Neil Gaiman, and Stephen King. Those are like lifetime across the board. And then ones I've come into later, and I would say in the last 10 years, would be Josh Malerman and Philip Fracassi. Philip Fracassi being like the last 2 years is when I discovered Philip Fracassi, who I absolutely love. And as you'll notice, most of those are all horror with a little bit of fantasy. Those are my favorites. I can't pick one. I don't have one favorite author. Next up, name your favorite comedy actor or comedian. Honestly, probably one of my favorite comedians is Conan O'Brien. And I just loved the Conan O'Brien show and always thought he was really funny. I loved his like little comedy bit sketches that he do that was like the Clueless Gamer. Like those were my favorite. I love that. I don't know, that was just the first person that pops into my brain. I'm sure I have other favorite comedians. But for now, I'm gonna go with Conan O'Brien. I like to just fly by the seat of my pants, and that's who came into my brain. Okay, so next up is name your favorite dramatic / serious actor or actress. I am a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan, and that probably stems from when he was in Donnie Darko. I don't really watch a lot of movies this day and age. I don't honestly really think I have favorite actors, but if I had to name one, I would go with Jake Gyllenhaal. He chooses a lot of weird roles, and I like that. All right, so next we have name your favorite political figure, past or present. This is an interesting question. So currently, my favorite right now is, because this is another one that probably changes, Jasmine Crockett. She is a Democrat out of the 30th Congressional District in Texas. And what I love about her is she is constantly calling out all the BS and lying that the Republicans are doing on a regular basis, and she is badass, and I love her. All right, next we have name your favorite film writer or director. That is hands down Wes Anderson. I love Wes Anderson. Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, Asteroid City, Darjeeling Limited. I mean, there's just so many great ones. Next up, we have name your favorite new discovery. So this is pretty open to interpretation. I'm gonna tell you what I discovered recently, and it was life-changing. Well, maybe not life-changing, but it was a game changer. So recently, my partner and I, his buddy gave him this extra tortilla press that he had, and we've been making our own corn tortillas, and it's the greatest thing in the world. I never ever want to buy them again. They're so much better when you make your own. It's like night and day. And it's magical. I cannot recommend making your own tortillas enough. And it's so easy. Literally, there's 3 ingredients: masa, harina, salt, hot water. That's it. It rests for 10 minutes. Then you make your tortillas. And they're so good. So good. Like I said, never want to have to buy them again. Those things are like eating like a freaking tree bark compared to making your own. All right. Next up, name your favorite musician or singer. This changes on a regular basis, but the person I always come back to, who is my favorite, that just kind of stands the test of time, is David Bowie. And then after that, name your biggest inspirational person. I don't know that I have someone personally in my life that is my biggest inspiration, but I've taken a lot of inspiration recently from Rick Rubin. I've talked about in the past his book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being, is it being one of the most inspiring and best books on creativity I have ever read. And I've been listening to his podcast, Tetragrammatron, and just the way he sees things and looks at life is amazing. And he's so inspiring. And just, I would have to say that he is probably the biggest inspirational person that I have in my crosshairs that I pay attention to and like listen to the things he says. Also, if you haven't had a chance to read that book and you are a creative and, you know, looking for some inspiration, I do have a standalone video for that. I will link that down below if you want to check it out. If you enjoyed this tag and think it might be something you'd like to do, consider yourself tagged. And if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.